Morning, it's November 25th. I'm Olivia Calfee. Thanks for joining us for Catch Up Quick, WVLT's daily fastcast that airs at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. Of course, the Thanksgiving travel rush is now underway with a record number of people expected to fly over the coming days. The TSA is expecting to screen nearly 18 million people from today until next Tuesday, the most in 15 years. It comes after widespread disruptions in air travel following the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Federal aviation officials out at Newark Liberty International Airport stressing the nation's airports are ready to meet the demand.
For us, this week is our Super Bowl, and I'm here to tell you we've got a great plan. We're past the lapse. Controllers are back at work. They're excited to be back on the job. They're excited to be compensated to be back on the job.
If you are delayed or you're canceled, know that it comes from a place of your safety in mind. If it's weather, if it's mechanical, if it's air traffic control, staffing issues, those are the factors that are considered.
AAA projects 70 million Americans will travel 50 miles or more during the Thanksgiving holiday period. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday afternoons are expected to be busier than the rest. Coming up on WVLT Plus at 11:30, we'll be talking with Becky Huckabee with McGee-Tyson Airport on what local travelers should expect. And we do have some good news for those of you hitting the roads for Thanksgiving. You won't have to worry about road work slowing you down. TDOT says it'll pause all lane closures on interstates and state highways. That starts at noon tomorrow. It'll last until 6 a.m. Monday. There could still be workers out on the interstate, so make sure you slow down, give them space to work. With Thanksgiving just a couple days away, that means a lot of people are going to be shopping and getting ready for the big meal. However, UT Agriculture Extension says Tennessee Thanksgiving prices are higher than last year. In a recent study, UT researchers bought dozens of Thanksgiving favorites from different types of grocery stores to compare prices. They used 3 categories to define each type of grocery store: a superstore, an independent grocery store, and a chain grocery store. Associate Professor Christopher Sneed is part of this research. He says they found the superstore was the cheapest option.
I think the super centers, of course, have size working for them, and so they're able to purchase more and then offer it at a lower price to the consumer. But we were really surprised that the independents came in right at number 2 with having the cheaper prices.
He says in order to make the most of your money, shop for items that you really need for your Thanksgiving dinner. Also, ask friends or family to bring a dish instead. We do have some sad news to pass along for you today. Former Knoxville Mayor Randy Tyree has died. Tyree served as mayor from 1976 to 1984. The city says Mayor Tyree put Knoxville in the spotlight by working to ensure the city hosted the 1982 World's Fair. 3 Knoxville Fire Department employees have now been disciplined after an internal investigation. It centers around a person thought to be dead but was actually alive this past summer. In July, KPD says they found a woman's body at a home on Rondo Road. The fire department pronounced her dead. However, a medical investigator revived her with Narcan. KFD says the employees were suspended for 8 days and had to undergo training before coming back. They also say the Department of Health is conducting its own investigation, so more action could be taken depending on what they find. Former Sweetwater Police Chief Mike Jenkins died over the weekend. He was 74 years old. Jenkins began his career of service with the Sweetwater Fire Department in 1974. He would go on to join the police department a few years later and served and protected the community for more than 4 decades. After retiring, he worked with fellow officers as part of a drug task force. Right now, wildlife agents are looking for the person responsible for illegally killing an elk in Bledsoe County. But this isn't the only case of illegal elk killing recently. A man is facing several charges for killing an elk in February. Not only is this against the law, but it's hurting the state's efforts of growing the elk population. These animals were brought back to Tennessee 25 years ago. And while Tennessee only has a couple hundred of them, people can legally elk hunt. That's like winning the lottery, though. Officials say Out of 10,000 elk license applications, they only give out 19. TWRA has been able to find one suspect recently for an illegal elk killing in Campbell County. And as the temperatures drop across East Tennessee, Knoxville leaders are making sure those who are exposed to the elements have a warm place to stay. Warming centers are set to open up on December 1st, running through February. That is when it's 25 degrees or colder. More than 400 people needed shelter from the cold last winter. The Knox County Office of Housing Stability says that number is expected to go down this season because of new affordable housing programs. But 3 Knoxville churches will open up as warming centers starting Monday. Church Street United Methodist Church on Henley Street, Cokesbury Church on Kingston Pike, and both of Eternal Life Harvest Center's locations on MLK Jr. Avenue and Western Avenue. Again, they will open only when the temperature is 25 degrees or lower.
Your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Kyle Granger.
The heavy rain is continuing right on through this 10 o'clock hour. In fact, it still looks rather dreary over downtown Knoxville. Hard to see some of the streets off in the distance there. So out and about through this early morning hour, we'll continue to be with those wet streets. A brief break, I think, right at 12 o'clock this afternoon before some of the stronger storms reemerge here. There's the batch of rain moving through. Still light to moderate rain moving into Morristown, parts of Newport over to Gatlinburg. We're clearing off to the west, so parts of Roane County over to Cumberland County, Fentress County, all clearing at this point, but more rain is ahead. So let me show you what's going on. It's light from Turkey Creek to Halls, Knoxville, Seymour. We've had some heavy downpours in Kodak and a few batches of moderate rain moving right over Douglas Lake in Sevier County into Jeff County. Elk Valley, La Follette, a few sprinkles left for you. Then down to the south, Wallen to Cades Cove, Maryville to Look Rock, all moderate to light rain. That's all moving east. So again, we have this period of dryness that is with us for the morning hours and through the early afternoon before what will be some stronger storms that fire up here. So your First Alert forecast for the rest of the Tuesday, let me show you what's going on. So here's our break right on through 12:30. Notice the yellows and reds starting to reemerge with pulses of energy and more widespread rainfall with gusty winds, some heavy downpours at times, thunder, lightning not out of the question through 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the afternoon into the mountains before getting into western North Carolina. So another round which will be stronger. This was the heavy rainfall. Now we're looking at some of the stronger storms that have some pulses of energy with them. There's the icon with the lightning, 60% coverage at 65 and staying in the 60s with off and on rain chances overnight. Where it rains, it can pour at times, and you see that happening now, and it happens this afternoon with some of those stronger storms getting as close to that inch in Clinton to Harriman, Madisonville, Knoxville, and some other areas maybe more like a quarter to half an inch. Overnight tonight, it's not as widespread, but rain is a possibility at 53. I invite you on Wednesday to the Festival of Trees in Gatlinburg. It's a free event. A donation is accepted for the Boys and Girls Club of the Smoky Mountains. Early in the morning in Gatlinburg, after you're done with your flapjacks, head to the convention center with the cloudy skies, enjoy the trees, and then the afternoons when you can enjoy some of that sunshine out and about. Of course, the Festival of Trees is free. Candy canes and cocktails, the preview event tonight, sold out. That lasts all through the weekend of Thanksgiving. So if you can't make it on Wednesday, you got Thursday and Friday to do so when it's extremely cold from start to finish. But at least the sunshine is helping us. Bit breezy at times on Thursday. There's the weekend with rain opportunities returning next week.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Tennessee's Department of Education has released its new ranking of public schools. 14 districts in the state were in the top category, exemplary. 4 are from East Tennessee. They are Alvin C. York Institute, Greenville City Schools, Newport City Schools, and Rogersville City Schools. The report said that Knox County Schools continues to improve. They are listed in the report's second highest category. That's advancing. Just 3 years ago, Knox County Schools were ranked in need of improvement. That's the report's lowest category. 9 school districts in Tennessee are listed as in need of improvement, with 3 in East Tennessee. That's Campbell County, Scott County, and Cott County. The designations are based on multiple different criteria from TCAP, ACT, and SAT test scores. to other factors like absenteeism and post-secondary classes like AP. All of this is taken into account. We have that full report right in the As Seen On section of the WVLT News app. And Knoxville's Public Building Authority says it has lost more than $700,000 in a scam. This happened early last month. Officials with PBA say they got an email that their bank information was changed and it needed to be updated. It turns out a scammer changed the information, so PBA ended up paying the money to a fake account. The FBI is investigating. We did reach out to PBA, but they directed us to their attorney, who wasn't able to comment. Well, Paula Dean delivering a special donation to a Sevier County children's home, the Wares Valley Ranch, receiving $10,000. That money will be used to support kids who are getting away from a difficult situation at no fault of their own.
Shock, and yes. And why it was a shock, I don't know. God has been so faithful and good to us. But we knew that they said Paula Dean wants to give a check to support your organization. We just had no idea it was going to be of that caliber.
The ranch says the money will also be used to help offset cost for the 32 students who wouldn't have any place else to go. WVLT proud to be your official station of the Vols after a historic win down in the Swamp this past weekend. Tennessee takes on Vandy Saturday in their final regular season game. The Vols have won 6 straight against their in-state rival, but it's likely they're going to face a different Vanderbilt team this year. Vandy sits just outside the playoff bracket, so Tennessee could play spoiler. Kickoff for Saturday's game is at 3:30 in Neyland Stadium. The UT mascot, who tried to entertain fans these past few seasons, is calling it a career. Smokey 11 is retiring after first taking the field at Neyland Stadium in 2023. UT says he doesn't do well in public because of how reserved he is. The university is working with the Hudson family to choose Smokey 12 for next season. Today kicks off a holiday favorite here in Knoxville. East Tennessee Children's Hospital's Fantasy of Trees will be back at the Knoxville Convention Center. It's East Tennessee Children's Hospital's largest fundraiser. It starts with the gala Among the Trees tonight and opening to everyone on Wednesday. Sydney and Ted will be there live previewing what you can see at this year's event at 7 p.m. right here on WVLT. It'll also be streaming in our news app. We're really excited for them tonight. And this Friday, it's Knoxville's Regal Celebration of Lights. The 42-foot tall Christmas tree in Crouch Park will be lit. There will be live music. Some local businesses will also be doing kids crafts. This is free to attend. That music starts at 5:15 and the tree lighting around 6 o'clock. Also, the ice rink in Market Square opening on Friday, and it'll be open through January 4th. It costs $12 for adults and $9 for kids 12 and under. This includes entry on the ice and skate rentals. You can buy your tickets online as well.
We the People, celebrating 250 years of America. Sponsored by Garza Law Firm.
This date in history is sometimes called Evacuation Day. On November 25th, 1783, the last of the British militia and those loyal to the crown were ordered to leave New York City. This followed the signing of the Treaty of Paris that ended the Revolutionary War. The city has been under a siege for 7 long years as British Army left. General George Washington triumphantly entered the city with his Continental Army. Well, thanks for joining us. Remember, you can stay up to date on WVLT.tv and the WVLT News app and on WVLT's social media pages. Y'all stay safe out there. Have a good one.